These ridges, or as some of us call them, speed bumps, can be detrimental to the life of a ferrocerium rod. Today we're going to talk about how we can remove them from the rod to make it last longer. Many times you'll see beginning bushcrafters come out, they use their ferrocerium rod for a while and they start to develop these ridges on their ferrocerium rod, and that's caused for a couple different reasons. The first reason is that they're incorrectly using their ferrocerium rod. They're normally pushing with an upward motion, such as this, causing the ripples to begin because they're not running the full length of their rod with their striking device. The second reason that you see some more advanced bushcrafters get these is because when they're driving their rod, they're driving it hard, but not hard enough to get an entire swipe on the rod. So they're building up material with the spine of their knife, and as it builds up, and then they let the pressure off, and it actually stops and throws a spark. You wouldn't know this until you start to see these bumps created on your rod, but when you start to see that, there's something you can do, because if these bumps, or speed bumps as some of us call them, get too intense, it's almost impossible to strike your rod and get a good spark. So it's a really easy fix, guys. This rod here, you can see, has been used for a long amount of time, and of course, if you're out in the bush, take your tape off if you have it on one side, turn your rod around and you have a fresh rod on the other side. That's one advantage of using these larger ferrocerium rods. This is a 6" by 1/2" rod. So by turning it around, we have a whole new striking surface available to us. But if we're home or we're back at camp, we can actually fix this up if we see these before they get too bad. And it's a very easy process. All we're doing is taking a file. You can use a good file, a cheap file, and this is just a cheap file I got at a junk store. And all we're going to do is take our file and we're going to start to rotate our rod. I like to rotate it towards me and push away. Okay, now it's going to take a little bit because there are some pretty good bumps in there, ridges. So I'll just continue this process. Now, yeah, we are removing some material from our ferrocerium rod, but rather than junking this or continuing to use it until it gets to the point that it's not usable, take care of this in the front end and save yourself some time and some energy down the road. You can also save these shavings, of course, if you would want to. It's very fine powder. You can put a tinder bundle under while you do this. The thing is, once in a while, you'll go a little too fast and you will create some sparks, but you don't need any type of machinery, anything that's special. All you need is just a simple file. And I like to just run this file over this. And the reason I say twist the rod and push at the same time is because you're gonna get a better coverage and a rounded coverage. You don't want to just constantly stay on one area. You're going to start to flatten out your rod. And if you go back to my last video, you can see how we want it round, because when we scrape it, we're creating ridges. So I'm just going to do this for a while to start to remove these. And you could see there, it lit up, but there's no problem. I'm not doing this on a carpet or anything that it matters. So we're just starting to take this away, just like that. As you guys can tell right there, the ridges are starting to come out very easily. Okay. So that's my process of how I clean up and restore a ferrocerium rod. There's a lot of life left in this rod, so throwing it off to the side or getting rid of it because of those bumps is an absolute shame. You have a lot of life left in this fire starting device, so take advantage of it. This was Dan Wowack with Coalcracker Bushcraft. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you haven't already, check us out at coalcrackerbushcraft.com. And until the next video, stay in the woods, guys.